Hello everybody, it's me, GhostCritic, and thank you for joining me. If you've been following my comic book Christmas countdown, you will know that you finally made it to my top 10 favourite #1 issues of 2016. Now, if you've been watching me for quite some time, you may have some clues now of what is going to be in that top 10. I hope I've got some bits in there that are going to surprise you, but at the end of the day, you don't know what's going to be at #1, so keep checking these videos out. I appreciate everyone who has been watching these and has been commenting on them, giving them the thumbs up. Just great stuff. Thank you so much for watching. Let's kick off with my number 10 favourite comic book #1 from 2016, and it is Swamp Thing. Written by Len Wein, art by Kelly Jones, colour by Michelle Madsen. If you were expecting a kind of follow-on from Scott Snyder and Charles Soule's New 52 run, you are much mistaken, because we've got the co-creator of Swamp Thing writing this book, and pardon the pun, he's going back to his roots. This was the wonderful nostalgic feel of kind of old 70s comics. Now, I may not have been reading comics back in the 70s when I was a wee nipper, but I've certainly read my many copies since, and I just love that era. And this is what Len Wein and Kelly Jones and Michelle Madsen were trying to very much invoke with this 6-issue miniseries, and I absolutely adored it. It was, like I said, it was trying to kind of emanate that 70s era of kind of like the horror books. People kind of complained a little bit that it was kind of like overly verbose. There is a lot to read in these books, but that was just the style of the time, and they were kind of recreating it. The Kelly Jones artwork wasn't its best, but you know, I've seen him do way better in the past, but it was still enjoyable enough. And the colours, all the greens and the really dark, creepy colours from Michelle just added to this. Well, just some great artwork there that just kind of really brought the words that have given so much atmosphere, kind of, you know, not just visually but through the storytelling. It almost felt like you were reading a novel. It really kind of dragged you into this just atmospheric swampland arena, finding the Swamp Thing. Len Wein introduced another of those kind of occult characters in this, and we got to see the Phantom Stranger paying Swamp Thing a visit and being his usual cryptic self. And then we, of course, you know, if you've got your good guy with the Swamp Thing, you've got to have a bad guy of sorts, and just this delicious full page shot of our kind of zombie Walking Dead type character, and the kind of tragic story of it all. I just loved this book so much. It was just, like I said, it was a nice callback to those kind of 70s horror comic books, and it was just something I needed from the very real kind of superhero-like stuff that DC were beginning to put out, and obviously the whole Rebirth shenanigans. But Swamp Thing was a great mini-series. It wasn't the best mini-series of 2016, but it was definitely right up there, and it was my number 10 comic book of 2016.